And moving closer to home, China has called on developed nations to deliver emission cuts and provide financial support to help developing countries. Vice Foreign Minister He Yafei outlined China's vision for tackling climate change. He pledged that China will fulfill its global obligations to combat climate issues. The minister said China did no less than any developed countries on the issue and has set a reasonable emission cut target. But he said that China, as a developing country, would not accept any mandatory conditions on emission cuts.
China's commitment is very firm. It's not conditional. It's unconditional. What we have committed voluntarily is in full accord with Bali Action Plan. It has a full legal guarantee domestically. I said it before, we will go through the whole legal process. We have a monitoring system inside China. It's real, without any help from external sources.
The UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon spoke highly of China's role in addressing the global challenge of climate change. China is taking a clear stance on the issue. However, differences still stand out between developed and the developing nations. Shen Le explains more.
Ban Ki-moon made the remarks Thursday before heading to Copenhagen.
And I visited all these solar energy factory. That was very impressive. Therefore, introducing these renewable sources and alternate sources of energy will be extremely important in addressing climate change. In that regard, the Chinese government recent announcement to cut energy intensity by 40 to 45%. That is a remarkable one.
Meanwhile, the deputy head of the Chinese delegation to the Copenhagen conference, Su Wei, stated China's clear stance on cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
We should stick to the Kyoto Protocol, which says the developed countries and developing countries should shoulder common but differentiated responsibilities for climate change. The developed nations should take the lead in reducing their carbon emissions by a large margin, and at the same time provide financial and technological support to the developing world. Of course, under the framework of sustainable development and after receiving support from developed countries, developing nations should take effective and positive action against climate change.
The European Union is pledging to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 20% by 2020 compared with the 1990 levels and plans to increase the target to 30% if other developed countries make similar pledges. Grassroots environmental organization Friends of the Earth International is not impressed with the EU's pledge. Thursday, the organization set up banners on the route to the conference venue to put pressure on members of the EU delegation.
We are shouting at the EU, which is meeting today, and we want that they take a stronger position in fighting climate change.
Developing countries are urging developed countries to cut more greenhouse gas emissions and provide substantial funding and technological support. Opinions are divided as leaders meet in Copenhagen, seeking an agreement to supplant the Kyoto Protocol, which expires in 2012. Shen Le, CCTV.